The world is harsh, except you.
We've had the story about the Twitch stuff over the last week or so, the terms of service and the artistic nudity and all that, right? And really, what that is just it's a giant funnel to people's OnlyFans and this parasocial relationship that people have with these streamers and these women. But it's about to get a whole lot worse, as this was just announced. Andrew over on Twitter says, and excited to announce version 1 of Digi, the future of AI romantic companionship for iOS and Android. So there's a full thread on this, but I just want to show you the 11-second video that goes along with this. 22 million views on X. This is terrifying.
It was so nice talking to you today. Honestly, I've never met anyone like you.
The world is harsh, except you.
Oh my gosh.
Who's that last chick? Give me your number.
It's all the same, and you can modify it however you see fit, Razor. And that's
this is a great way to spawn genuine organic human interaction, and that
right. And none of this is real. You create the avatar that is your girlfriend or boyfriend that you want, and you have literally fake conversations with computer generated AI, and there you go. I see this. You see guys dumping all this money into these girls on OnlyFans and blah 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 blah.
Oh God, that clip of the Black Widow cosplay chick and the dude, and he's trying to high five her, and he's getting.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yes.
What are you doing? And it's like one of her mods or something. Like, what the fuck?
I don't, but if you don't think that this is just gonna, like, dudes are just gonna, like, really lonely guys who can't connect with women, if you don't think they're just not gonna throw money at this, this is going to be a money suck where guys are spending thousands of dollars on pay to win. It's crazy, and you'll always win because you're always going to be the most beautiful, most attractive man in the world to this AI, and the world is a sad place except for you. Oh right. My gosh, it's terrifying.
It's hijacking your dopamine system. You're gonna get a rush of dopamine for what you're gonna be rewarded, right? That's the whole. It's a reward system, right? So if you're being rewarded for just clicking some buttons on your phone, that's going to hijack your dopamine system. That's how you're going to relate to people. That's going to fuck up how you interact with normal people. And you see this with, people who have too much simulated social interaction and not enough actual social interaction. That's kind of one of the insidious parts of this. But again, is it any more, let's be real, is it any more like vapid and fraudulent than, say, a Tinder date? Like,
well, I mean, they're both not real.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But
probably just as many AI fucking profiles too.
You're probably right on, man, for sure. Everything you think would be real on one of those Tinder things is probably totally fake. You see these girls with, the total filters on when they're taking their pictures, and you show up and you're like, what? You've heard a million of those stories, which is interesting.
You start hearing the Hungry Hungry Hippos theme song. What is this?
Oh my gosh. But the thing about this is that you can go in and you can modify literally everything on this. The idea of, you could say, oh, I want this hair, this skin, this lips, eyes, eyebrow. That's all customizable. Hairstyles, face shapes, etc.
Give her red hair if you want a personality disorder.
Oh my gosh. But this is going to just, like, dudes in general have a hard enough time meeting girls with, just based off of the idea of dating on social media apps and Tinder and etc. And if you don't think this is going to create just a huge block, just a big old fence in the middle of
there's in corollary to, this is germane to the topic. There was a experiment conducted years ago. It's the standard rat in a maze experiment. and they hooked up electrodes to this rat's like brain, and they could stimulate his reward response if he hit a button that was in right next to his bedding in his cage. Or he could go through the maze and go find the cheese like he'd been trained to do a million times. And before he realizes what the button does, he's going and getting that cheese every single time. Once he realizes the button stimulates the exact same reward response, he sits there and hits the button all day long until he starves to death. And that's essentially what you're doing when you rewire your dopamine system. When you're like doing this for social interaction, I think is even more perilous in a way, because you're not getting the standard reward response from just talking to chicks. You gotta get out there and actually talk to them. If you're getting the same reward for doing nothing, I think that's kind of an element of MGTOW to a degree. Not that I don't sympathize with guys having issues with chicks, but I think this is kind of a perfect storm.
It's sad. It's sad more than anything else. And this is where it's going to be in 6 months from now. Man, we'll see where we're at in the summer of 2024 with this insanity, because there's some buzz around this, and there are a lot of lonely guys, man. There are a lot of lonely guys out there. All right.
Many of which are in the chat. No. I kid.
Blabs, poll in the chat, please. Are you a lonely guy?
Summer of lonely heart.
Hey, well, actually, we have a poll right now. Will you date AI lady? 75% said no, which means 20. We found the lonely guys in the chat. But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.